Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be inducting our newest members, Blake Tower, Maximilian LeBlanc, Haley Otis, Andrew Wilson, Sienna Mac, Britta Robinson, Sydney Pickering, Hollis Soriadakis, and Seven Fitzgerald. These students have demonstrated a clear understanding of the 5 qualities that are held in high esteem of the National Honor Society: knowledge, leadership, scholarship, service, and character. They are truly outstanding in these qualities. That is why they are being inducted into the National Honor Society tonight. Now, if you would please rise and join Jillian in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jillian. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Butcher, who will say a few words, first about Blake Tower, followed by Max LeBlanc.
Getting right into it. All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Osceola chapter of National Honor Society induction ceremony. It is with great pleasure we welcome Blake Tower and share with all of you some stories and thoughts about Blake this afternoon. Sophomore year, Blake drove me nuts. He could not stop talking in accents. I'm not sure how you put up with this at home or what you did to cure it. Junior year, Blake, practicing memorizing poetry, pacing and shouting lines with his hands as he memorizes Acquainted with the Night. Unforgettable. But junior year we went remote, and I don't think that he felt the school engagement that he felt in the classroom. His reflections ran the gamut. I love being home, sleeping all morning, doing work at my own pace, to this pandemic hasn't really affected me, to now I'm mad, no summer basketball? Maybe it was the thought of getting back to life as normal that was the catalyst to Blake's transition to senior year. What I'm here to tell you today is that when Blake came back in senior year, it was a completely different Blake who walked through the front door. Taller, yes. Bigger feet, yes. Louder voice, yes. Longer hair, yes. Enthusiastic, engaged, poignant, elegant, conscientious, all yes. It has been quite fun, actually, to have conversations with Blake about current issues, politics, yeah, sometimes. He's able to make a claim, talk about his beliefs and thoughts in a way that he is communicating thoughtfully. We mostly discuss college and his plans for the future. Blake has been transformed. We're having awesome conversations about life. I believe his family has had an incredible impact on Blake. His parents are both hardworking people. His mom spends countless hours working for the betterment of this community. And his sister, as we all know, Sam, a studious and passionate about her education. Who couldn't be influenced by this loving family? In class, especially, when the topic of college or our future plans is discussed, which for some seniors is constant, Blake is a bit of a class motivator, a cheerleader even. It's like the locker room before the big Super Bowl game. What do you want out of life, boys? He might say. Don't you want as much education as you can get to have all the options in the world? Don't settle, he tells his peers. 4-year schools, master's degrees will get you further career, higher salaries, and the list goes on. And he isn't quiet about it. He's usually pacing in front of the room, which he can, no one sits around him, talking with his hands as this will ensure his point. He cares about his friends, his peers, and his community. A quick story that I didn't get to witness, but I'll tell you anyway, is we're finishing our book one particular day. I'm not at school, but we're at a pivotal point. It's the end of the novel. Blake comes into class. He's like, everyone get seated, get your books out, we're reading. And he immediately starts reading to his peers. Things are so exciting. Jacob is out of the seat, he's jumping over chairs. The kids are going crazy. This is the kind of leader that Blake has become. I cannot wait to hear college stories and see where this crazy ride takes him. It will be one of passion and great success. Congratulations, Blake. I'm also pleased to be here this afternoon to welcome Max Lewand into the Osceola chapter of National Honor Society. Max is another well-deserving recipient of this honor, as he has worked extremely hard to maintain his GPA and single-handedly bring the boys varsity basketball to team playoffs. Just kidding. Max is a team player, but it's... Just kidding. I'm sure you're a good Max. I joke, but Max is a team player, for it speaks to one of Max's truest passions, basketball. For years, I have read nothing but basketball. Players I've never heard of, teams I swear he makes up. If I asked Max to recite his poem, Making Jump Shots, right now, could you do it?
I definitely.
Oh, you'd love to do it. He's not going to. That was his freshman year poem from Poetry Out Loud, and he will do it right on a whim, Haley. Just talking to teammates about the game. He just loves it. He's been a leader on the basketball team, a team that has struggled with new coach after new coach, different vision, different plan. And I'm not sure if Coach Manning knows that Max wrote the majority of his college essay about how Coach Manning has cared about this team more than anyone else has, and who has been extremely influential in Max's life, which I can attest. I've seen tremendous growth in Max as a classroom leader. I would not have been able to say that when he was a sophomore. I think it started junior year, and I believe in part Coach Manning, who models what it means to be a student athlete, a leader on the court, and a young man. And Max is following his lead. In class, it actually enrages Max if a peer turns assignments in late. Could he have turned in work late? Sure he could, but that's not who Max is as a student. He came back his senior year motivated and determined. He made a plan for college, a plan that keeps changing, expanding. He started off for first quarter with a plan, electrical certification, Lakes Region. Did I get that right? Just recently, another college essay and an application to Plymouth. Business is a possibility. Max is looking into his future as he looks at the basketball court, ever changing, moving parts, making adjustments. It's not a bad way to approach life. I'd say it's a good start. Not being afraid to make mistakes, to grow as a person, to face adversity in life is hard. I think Max is equipped for his future, and I can't wait to see where it brings him. Congratulations, Max.
Thank you, Ms. Woodruff. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Robertson, who will say a few words, first about Haley Otis, followed by Andrew Wilson.
Did y'all do your homework? Now, Haley, Hillary, welcome to the National Honor Society. My first memories of Haley involved that big chainsaw accident. Oh wait, I'm sorry, wrong card. My first experiences with Haley, she came into my classroom and was this quiet kid who never said a word. And in fact, it took me forever to learn her name because she just didn't say anything. And if you had asked me then if I was going to expect to see Haley in the National Honor Society, I would have first said, ooh. And then when you pointed her out, I would have said, oh, she doesn't talk, probably not. She's turned out, as time has gone by, to become one of my favorite students. And what I have learned to appreciate about her is that she is a total sleeper in class. You walk in and you see her and you think, oh, this is a goofy kid. And then she asks you a question, you're like, oh, she's one of the smart kids. And then you expect, I'm not going to get any work from her today, and then she hands in work with questions and calls you out on mistakes that you make in class. And you're like, oh, this is one of those really smart, hard-working kids. And then you think, oh, wait a minute, she's one of these obnoxious, like she was a wicked 7th grade mean kid back in the day. She would be like, I can't believe you're wearing those shoes with that shirt, Mr. Robertson. And yet, she turns into one of your favorite students because she works hard and she's incredibly bright. And the one thing I would warn you about is never, ever underestimate Haley, because she will turn around and show you where you're wrong and she's right. And I am just really glad that I've got to know her over the last few years. Welcome to National Honor Society. Thank you, Haley. I will now move on to Andrew. Andrew has taken all the math classes. There are no math classes left. I don't know what we're going to do next year. Maybe we'll take a class together. Andrew is an amazing student. He does things effortlessly, and I've never really been able to figure out if they truly are effortless or if there's like 6 hours a night of doing homework that he doesn't tell anybody about. And he is just, I was missing from class one day. I don't remember, I think it was when my mother-in-law was going through the chemo and I was home, and I missed a day, and Andrew taught statistics for me. And I came in and I found on the Google Notes, or the Google meeting, there's all these notes that everybody took from me. Andrew knows more about math than probably I do. More than Mr. Baker, more than Lovell Morrison. But he taught the class really well. He just stood up and did it. I don't think anybody forced him to do it. And now I like leave a little note to the side, hey, let Andrew teach it. But it has been amazing just how quickly he picks this stuff up and soaks it up like a sponge. The one thing I worry about Andrew is he is so bright and things come so easily to him that he wants to do everything. He wants to run trains. He wants to learn all the math. He wants to figure out all the science. There's only so many hours in a day and so many days in a week, Andrew. This is the one thing that I really do worry. But like the other kids that were up here, you guys are super bright. You're a hardworking kid. And probably the thing that really stands out for me about Andrew is that he doesn't just think about the math, he doesn't just do the math, he challenges the math. He thinks about math like a mathematician, not like a math student. And that may be a difference that doesn't resonate with all of you, but to see someone truly wrapping their head around, it's almost like when someone's learning a language and they start thinking in the language rather than translating the language. That's what Andrew does with math. And that's amazing to me because you don't see that every day. So Andrew, you're amazing. Welcome to National Honor Society.
Thank you, Mr. Robertson. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Krill, who will say a few words, first about Sienna Mac, followed by Britta Robinson.
I first just wanted to say what an amazing group of kids are being inducted today. We were like fighting over like the introduction piece because they're all wonderful. And if we were all allowed to give our regular length speech, we would be here too long. So I just want to congratulate all of you. But this past weekend, I was on a morning walk of the town loop with my dog and friend Michelle. There we were, a couple of moms with our dogs, getting our steps in, when suddenly Sienna Mac zooms by. "Good morning, Krill," she yells, and likely could have carried on a complete conversation, not winded at all. My friend Michelle had the privilege of coaching with Sienna for the Rut Rider Loon Race team, where their students were mostly 5 and 6 years old. As Sienna left us in the dust, Michelle turned to me and said, "Is there anything she is not good at?" And I smiled, thinking not when she puts her mind to it. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Ms. Sienna Mac to the Osceola chapter of the National Honor Society. Whether she's hiking with a group of girls of summer, training with the Lin-Wood race team, coaching her little guys over at Loon, or raising her hand in class to ask a thoughtful question, Sienna is always impressive. Even when I think about her in middle school, I smile. She had the tiniest pink tent ever. And it had little gray foxes on it. And she and Jillian slept in that tent so proudly. I think it was the summer before 7th grade. And it makes me smile all these years later to think about it. She's a leader at school as well as in the workplace and on fields and mountains throughout the state. She speaks her truth with confidence and I believe she was born fully responsible and hardworking. Her attention to community service is also representative of the family she's been raised in. Watching her grow up and mature into this remarkable young woman has been an honor, and I could not be more proud and lucky to be her teacher, even for part of that journey that is and will be Sienna Mac. Anyone who chooses to coach young children in a sport they really love, no doubt has the ability to endure even in challenging times. And while her tents in the future might not be pink with tiny gray foxes, Sienna knows how to look after herself and those around her. She is a force of nature, and we wish her every congratulations in this well-deserved nomination. To a computer screen full of muted people, seemingly miles away, yet she remained poised, articulate, and powerful in her words. What I wasn't able to share with Britta, following the performance as she had to scoot off to SATs immediately, was how many people had written to me in the chat thread. What a wonderful speaker. Her words made me cry. She caused me to really think about the people in my life today, and that made my day better. Britta is also our school Poetry Out Loud champion this year, so please join me in recognizing her in our Osceola chapter of the National Honor Society. Her energy, poise, and work ethic illustrate a much more mature young woman than her years demonstrate. That, coupled with her ability to balance different sports as well as an active family, work, friends, and a pandemic is equally impressive. Recently accepted into St. Paul's Advanced Summer Program, Britta exemplifies what it means to challenge oneself in academics, athletics like cross country and ski team, as well as outside of school. She's a leader in the classroom and a role model for younger students coming up in our school. Contributing to the community in different service endeavors has been something that her family has raised her to believe in her entire life. And if you had heard her Rotary speech, you would recognize that it truly is the content of her character. Now, Britta and I have not always seen eye to eye, right, Britta? We've had some times, you and me, over the years. However, she has found a way to push herself through constructive criticism, working tirelessly year after year. She most assuredly deserves this place in the National Honor Society, and I could not be more proud of the young woman she's maturing into. Please join me in clapping and cheering loudly in person for Britta for all the times this year she needed a real live audience and had to deal with the pandemic version. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Krill. Now at this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Savali, who will say a few words about Sydney Pickering.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see us out. One step closer, I guess, to ending this pandemic, hopefully. I do say this with great pleasure. It is an honor for me to speak about Sydney. I've known Sydney. She was my first freshman class here at Lin-Wood. And I'll have to say that she was a very eager young lady, willing to demonstrate and also willing to be heard. It was not uncommon for me to play maybe 1, 2, 3, or more Christmas songs, for we know the love that Sydney has for Christmas time. And once in a while we have to play a little bit of Disney too. So, Sydney, I applaud you. You're a kid at heart. Well, of course you are, because you're still a kid. But I'm a kid at heart too, so I enjoyed it also, so thank you. Sydney has a lot of passion, and when she wants to obtain something, I don't think I would want to get in her way, because she is going full force. Sydney, you remind me of this film called Seabiscuit. And in the film Seabiscuit, we have this horse, and this horse did not want to be shut down, did not want to lose, and the horse did everything in his power to win. So that's how I look at Sydney. When she's faced with a challenge, she kicks it into another gear, and she's ready to go. So for her love of competition, I applaud you also, Sydney. Good job on that. Sydney has proven herself in the classroom and out of school. She's a born leader. Sydney represented Yalta. She serves as the vice president of BLA. She's the captain of her varsity soccer team, secretary of her class. She coaches young individuals for skiing. She's a 3-sport athlete. She's involved in the Girls of Summer, and now a member of the Osceola chapter of the National Honor Society. So I said to Sydney, I go, Sydney, just give me a brag sheet. I really want to know what, some of the things you want me to say to you. And you know how you take that scroll and it keeps rolling this way? Yeah, so we had to cut this down a little bit, but thank you anyway, Sydney. That was really nice of you. So she put on a few things that kind of, like I am now, a little chuckling she brought to me. So she goes, quote, "Although I may be loud, it proves my ability not to be afraid in saying what I believe in. So truce it." And she says this, and this is all caps now. This is what I get, so I couldn't forget this. She goes, "Please don't forget this, Mr. Stavali. Being your all-time favorite student, much like my sister, yet so different." Now, the yet so different part, I really appreciate it, because that is a testament on individualism and the importance of being an individual, which I think Sydney achieves greatly. And Sydney, to your dog Bella, enjoy, because I once had a dog named Bella, and she has passed, and she brought me as much joy, I think, as your dog is bringing you today. So Sydney, congratulations, and welcome to the Osceola chapter of the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Mr. Savali. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Hum, who will say a few words first about Mahaly Soriadakis, followed by Seven Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Jacob. Like Mr. Stavali was mentioning about Sid, the next two students I'm going to speak about, despite following in the footsteps of their older siblings, who've also been inducted in the Osceola chapter of NHS. Both of these inductees I have the pleasure to speak of have blazed their own trails. I had 7 first, but that's okay. Mahaly Soriadakis. How's that? Mahaly says, close enough. He has been described by his peers as being independent, organized, determined, self-motivated, and downright hilarious. Mahaly is a leader in the classroom, never giving in to the temptation to blow things off. He is not afraid to ask questions, and he persists until he fully understands. He inspired me 2 years ago when he shared in his Rotary speech in front of the whole student body. We don't do this very often anymore, but he spoke in front of the whole student body as a 9th grader about how running cross country helped him gain self-confidence. So it's one thing to gain self-confidence, and it's another thing to be a 9th grade boy who speaks about gaining self-confidence. It was amazing. Mahaly, are you going to play baseball? Inquiring minds want to know. Are you playing baseball? I can't pick out of this or this. No. Well, in 9th grade, which is the last time we all got to play baseball together, right, you with me, because we missed last year, Mahaly bragged about how having the highest batting average for a few days. Which, I'm sorry, but this is like spoken like a true mathematician. These are the things that we notice. So I just wanted to celebrate that about you, Mihaly, having the highest batting average for a few days. In baseball, maybe you should reconsider your spring plans. He is musically inclined. Despite a hiatus this year, he has taken great pride in solo band and chorus performances. And on top of all of this, as many of you know, in his spare time, he is dedicated to helping out with his family's business. One other word that Mihaly's peers use to describe him is caring. Someone went so far as to say he cares deeply. And I think that this quality is what shines about Mihaly the most. He doesn't take things lightly. He always goes the extra mile. Recently, he offered to give up his study hall and sit in on a class of mine for a student that he's begun to tutor during advisory. That's amazing, because I'm sure that Mihaly doesn't have a lot of spare time. And this is a true testament to his character. Mihaly, congratulations. And Seven Fitzgerald has always taken academics seriously. She works equally well with peers and independently to fully understand lessons in all of her subjects. On the soccer field, she shined as a captain and in the goal box, showing her heart, passion, and team leadership. And her basketball teammates also do not hesitate to tout her leadership on the court and the sidelines. So now finally, after 2 years' wait, we get to see how these leadership skills will play out on the softball field. We'll see how your batting average does. Seven balances these academic and sports commitments with FBLA and being a class of 2022 officer and working tirelessly to make sure I get my daily scoop of cappuccino crunch after school at Ice Cream Delights. I don't know how you do all that. She's a manager. She's a shift manager at work. Her peers say she's kind, funny, brave, easy to get along with, and a leader. What stands out for me most about Seven, besides the fact that her name is a number, and can we take a moment like, that is awesome, okay? Like, we're all so used to it, because she's 7, and she's been 7 for 16 or 17 years, but her name is a number. This is so cool. Anyway, besides that, she is uncompromisingly herself. And so many teenage girls can get caught up trying to be who they think they should or who someone else wants them to be. But Seven does not fall for this. In so many ways, she is mature beyond her years. I'm so pleased to have crossed paths with the last inductee of the evening. But certainly not the least, Miss Seven Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Ms. Holland. Members of the Osceola chapter must effectively demonstrate 5 qualities which are held in high esteem by the National Honor Society. At this time, our NHS members would like to review those 5 qualities. To light the knowledge candle, Jillian Clark.
Knowledge is the state of knowing. Each day, through experience and study, we become more familiar with, more aware of, and gain understanding of the world around us. The way in which each of us perceives, discovers, and learns through our experiences and studies makes how we know who we are unique. It is the responsibility of each person to learn as much as he or she can. One should look forward to each new experience and take it on with the desire to learn and expand one's knowledge. It is with knowledge that a person can overcome any obstacle that he or she may face.
Thank you, Jillian. Olivia Drapo will now light the leadership candle.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is an important charge to each of our members and to the candidates.
Thank you, Olivia. I will present the scholarship candle. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with life. Scholarship is one great element in life, which leads to the highest successes, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have to charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. For the service candle, AJ Vecchione.
Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Thank you, AJ. To light the character candle, Silas Whedon.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life, and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others, by demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity. We may hope to prove by example that we each value character.
Thank you, Silas. Thank you, NHS members. At this time, the Osceola Chapter Advisor, Ms. Parent, will administer the induction pledge.
Society inductees and all of the members of National Honor Society, including those of you in the audience, to rise and repeat the induction pledge after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. And I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. When I read your name, I'd like you to come forward and receive your certificate, sign the membership log. Welcome to the Untitled Chapter, Lake Tower. Lewand. Leotis. Andrew Wilson. Sienna Mac. Robertson. Sydney Pickering. Holly Sorodakis. Evan Fitzgerald. Welcome to the Osceola Chapter of National Honor Society. I'm very, I'm very pleased to have the honor of being the advisor of all of these students. They represent our school extremely well, and that just makes me really proud to be part of this community with such a great group of students. So congrats, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Parent. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Kirby, who will make a few closing remarks.
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to see people dressed up in this formal attire. We're not used to that in these times. So it's good to see people come and looking all snappy, and others as well. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Blake, Maximilian, Haley, Andrew, Sienna, Britta, Sydney, Mahali, 7 on your inductions to the Honor Society, National Honor Society. I think it's a feat that is not done by all, and it's something that you should be proud of, and I'm proud of you for being able to do these kind of things and be recognized by your teachers as to people who have these qualities of a National Honor Society. It's a great pleasure to have witnessed some of these strides you've made in becoming honorable young adults, and I'm thankful that I was able to see some of that. I thank all of you for your contributions to the school and your community. It's truly a blessing to have students like all of you representing the town of Lincoln and Woodstock. All that has been done to continue, or all that you do continues to impress me. Now is not the time to rest on your laurels. We need to finish the school strong with gusto, and as you continue into your endeavors outside of school, continue to represent Lin-Wood in a manner that has earned you the respect that you get here. Families and friends, we thank you for helping to celebrate these terrific young men and women. As you have heard, they present themselves as true lumberjacks, and we are proud of that families help support our school in guiding them to the path to adulthood. Thank you to Ms. Parent for your commitment to the Osceola Chapter of the National Honor Society, to the teachers for your contributions and stories tonight, Mr. Adams, and Shannon Drepo for streaming the ceremony, and to Mr. Hood, custodial staff for helping out. We appreciate your attendance to celebrate these new inductees, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening. We have some refreshments over here, and as you continue out into the night to celebrate what these people have accomplished, we wish you all a good night and a wonderful evening, and go Lumberjacks.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. On behalf of the members of the National Honor Society, I would like to thank everyone for coming. At the conclusion of the ceremony, you are all invited to take a few minutes to congratulate the newest members. Members, please be available near the front for pictures, and everyone is welcome to stay for the cake. Thank you.